Hi, it's Kassy, artist in residence with Imagine. Today I'm going to show you a really fun project using the new StazOn Pigment ink and some other great Imagine supplies. I'm starting with this easel and I'm just gessoing the whole surface of the wood so that I can put some pigment over it later. So this StazOn Pigment ink I can use on dark surfaces, and it's kind of hard to see right now, but this is a grape candy color, so it's a really beautiful purple, and I'm just stamping it on here, and you'll see in a minute when I bring it up. Look, you can see the purple on the black. It's so cool. So this new StazOn Pigment ink from Sikaneko has just released, and it is fantastic. It has all the same properties as the normal StazOn ink, so it dries quickly and it can be used on porous and non-porous surfaces like paper, metal, glass, wood, things like that. But the really wonderful thing about it that makes it different from normal StazOn is that it's opaque. So now we can use it on dark surfaces. I used it on craft paper on another project, and here I'm using it on black. And look, you can see all of the colors. You wouldn't be able to see all of them so well on with regular StazOn ink. Here we're coming in with some snowflake StazOn. So think about white pigment ink that dries quickly, that keeps all of its detail. Oh my goodness, it's so exciting. I'm just over the moon about this. Pun intended here. Anyway, so really fantastic ink, and you'll see when I bring this closer that you can see all of the, you can still even see the purple there if you're looking at the black area. It's just so beautiful. Anyway, so now we're coming in with some fireworks spray, which is beautiful, and I'm using the Bahama blue, which is that light blue. And then the darker blue is called Paris Dusk, and that purple is grape jelly. So I'm just covering different parts of the frame here and hitting it with some water so it has like a kind of a watercolory organic look to it. I really kind of wanted to create sort of, you know, the galaxy kind of sky look here, and so I'm doing the back as well because this is a full piece, so I want the whole thing to be done in a similar way. So I'm just starting with my lightest color there again, which is that Bahama blue, coming in with the darker blue and then the purple, and then just covering all of the white space, and I'm going to spray it with water and let it sort of mix together and create that beautiful background. So back to the layout portion of this, I have creative medium in shimmer, and this just has a really nice, not overpowering kind of shimmer and glitter in it, and you'll see that when it dries. It dries clear and will have that shimmer in it, and thought that looked nice with that clock stencil. So now I have that stamp again that I used in the middle, and I just really love the pattern of it, and I thought that the grape candy StazOn Pigment ink over the top of that is just dark enough that it really stands out and makes that frame look outstanding. And again, you know, I'm on wood here and I'm stamping with StazOn Pigment ink, and it's showing up over that that fireworks spray. It looks fantastic. So now I have some goosebumps in the shimmer as well. Now my bottle there looks a little pink. Yours wouldn't be pink. I probably accidentally contaminated it at some point, but it doesn't affect the use of it at all. So anyway, so then I'm working on my layout on the inside, and I have this really cool resin piece of just the eyes and the nose there, and I really want it to be nice and white and bright, right? And so I'm using the all-purpose ink, which works beautifully for things like this. It's very opaque, nice, great even coverage. I love using this ink. And so then I also, of course, wanted to have some stars and some white splatter on the background, and the all-purpose ink is just loose enough that it can do this. I didn't have to water it down at all. It works perfectly just as it is. So there's a little bit of a close-up. You can see some of that detail, and you'll see it more in the end as well. And now I just want to build my composition and the layout in the background. So I'm using Creative Medium. This is just the original clear, and I'm using it here as an adhesive. It is a really strong product and can work beautifully as an adhesive for heavier objects. So I've laid down that copper wire and put the that ephemera over the top just to hold it in place. And then again here I'm using the resin with the creative medium, and that is going to hold it in place just fine. I wanted to put some pigment and some color onto these metal pieces, the gears and the wings here, so I need to gesso them first so that they can accept the color. And I did 2 layers of gesso to make sure it was nice and white. So now I'm just kind of pressing these gears into that, excuse me, the StazOn Pigment ink in the different colors, and just sort of creating not a completely covered look, but mostly covered on the top, and it helps to bring out some of that detail, and it looks really cool. So I'm using the creative medium, the original again, to stick down all of those gears. I like to use my finger as a tool sometimes for putting adhesive like this on. It just gives me better control, but you could use a paintbrush or whatever works for you. And now these wings needed some color and some more dimension, so I started with the London Fog. That was the light gray excuse me, firework spray, and then I went in with some tuxedo black just to give it a little bit more detail and dimension. And using the StazOn Pigment in the piano black, I'm cutting out these phrases that were part of that stamp set, and just cutting them out and sticking them on with the on-point glue. The on-point glue works really well. It's got a great fine tip needle tip point, sorry, and dries really quickly and holds things in place really well. So finally I'm just coming back in to glue down these wings, and I decided to use I wanted to use a fair amount of the creative medium on the back of the wings, just to make sure that they're both going to stay there, stay in place, and when they dry, they're not going to go anywhere. So here we go, the final project. Look at the white, the yellow, that peacock feather, that tealish color. Look, you can even see the purple still in the background. That is all StazOn Pigment, and I wouldn't have been able to do that with regular StazOn, or with really many other inks for that matter, and have it dry so quickly and have it be so crisp and beautiful. I loved this project. I love this new ink, and I can't wait to hear what you think of it. For more inspiration, please visit imaginecrafts.com. Thank you so much.